Oh dear, the halo has slipped. Or is it the crown? Lady Diana was the people's princess. Kate Middleton was the perfect princess. A discreet, devoted wife, a caring mother, a dutiful public servant. Since she entered the royal family, she really hasn't put a foot wrong. But it's all come crashing down with this wildly photoshopped Mother's Day image. I've got to say, before the veracity of this image was brought into question, it was already raising eyebrows with many, including the excellent broadcaster Julia Hartley-Brewer, noticing that Catherine was not wearing her wedding or engagement ring. Now, this was a significant official portrait, an image of members of the royal family on Mothering Sunday. Do you not think she would have put her rings on for that? For a long time now, there has been wild and frankly nasty online speculation about her and William's marriage. I've got no doubt they are blissfully happy, and William is a doting and loyal husband. But a ringless photograph of his wife on Mother's Day will be a field day for those seeking to characterise this marriage as having a problem. In my view, that's nonsense. The body language between the couple in public and the smiling faces of their 3 happy children would suggest the Waleses are fine. But the gossip mongers and conspiracy theorists, far from being silenced by this image, have now been handed an early Christmas present once it was revealed that several major news agencies pulled the photograph over concerns it had been doctored and manipulated. A perfunctory message on Twitter from Catherine herself confirms that she, like many amateur photographers, likes to experiment with editing, as she apologised for any confusion caused. Now, I don't know about you, but I certainly brightened up pictures of myself and the family, improved the contrast and tried to make my kids more attractive. Fighting a losing battle on that one. But this Photoshop fail was bizarre, just the scale of it alone. Why were there so many trees outside in full bloom in March? Part of Princess Charlotte's wrist is missing. In fact, the photograph is thought to feature as many as 16 inconsistencies, including Prince George missing a foot. Surely a unique physical characteristic that would have come to public attention by now, the single-footed prince. And some are even suggesting that Princess Catherine has an Adam's apple. But I seriously doubt she's the first trans royal. But if the palace have nothing to hide, they should publish the original photograph, which we're told was taken by William. But I doubt they ever will, which is why the story will now enter conspiratorial folklore forevermore. In the end, there's a lesson for the royal family and for all public figures. Be straight with us. You take a photograph of the family on Mother's Day and you publish it. The very fact that this image was doctored so comprehensively is a problem for a monarchy that wants to be seen as authentic, real, credible and down to earth. Meanwhile, the questions where is Kate and what's going on with her health will only get louder. Now, if you want my honest view, I don't think that Catherine sat for that photograph. It's my view the whole thing was knocked up on a computer because poor Kate is not well enough for such a photo opportunity, which is why they should never have released the photo in the first place, whether it's real or not. It's been a pantomime, an insult to the public's intelligence and Catherine's first PR disaster. Frankly, I think that she should be left in peace to recover and to get well. We didn't need this photo and this airbrushed PR nonsense. And do the palace think that we're that stupid? This saga has been a sorry one for the royal family, and the rumours about Kate's health and the Wales' marriage will only intensify. And from now on, how can we believe a photograph that's been released by the palace or a statement that's been made? All that matters is Catherine's health and her recovery. Everything else is just hot air. But this story is going nowhere. A fake image creates the sense of a fake family and a fake monarchy. They say the camera never lies. If only that was true of the royal family. We've just had a snapshot into what they're really like. Sorry, folks. I don't think Catherine posed for that photo. That's my view. I could well be wrong. But what's your view? mark@gbnews.com. I'll get to your emails shortly. But first, tonight's top pundits. And I'm delighted to welcome, in no particular order, I'm very excited to have with me Diana Moran, journalist, fitness expert and model. We've got former government advisor and political commentator Claire Pearsall and broadcaster, comedian, playwright and woman about town, the one and only Sajila Kershi. What a dream team tonight. Well, look, folks, let's sink our teeth into this one. Diana Moran, great to see you. Do you think that photograph is kosher? Because I don't think Catherine posed for it.
You've actually really surprised me with what you've just said, because I had thought that William had taken it. And I was going to say what a lot of nonsense this all is, because I take a lot of photographs and I love photoshopping them and doing all sorts of things. And I probably...
You don't need to. You're perfect.
And I probably...
You're Diana Moran.
Not of me. Not of
you're
me.
Just less attractive members of the family.
Of members. I'm always taking photos. And I'm always doing things with them. And that's what I thought, until you've just said that. That you don't think she was even there.
I think that this image is such a botch job that it raises fundamental questions about whether it happened in the first place. And I think it's a matter of national interest that we find out. And that's why I think, Diana, that the palace should publish the original photograph.
Well, if there was an original photograph, sounds as if there were lots of photographs, from what you're saying, that have all got put together.
Sajila Kershi, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I think that what's happened in the last week has raised more questions than it's answered.
Luckily for you, I am a little bit. I love a good conspiracy. Well, there are many ways you can look at this. So the fact, like, Princess Diana, if you remember, she used to send, like, little messages through photos. Remember that photo of her in front of the Taj Mahal, most romantic, place in the world, and she's there alone. And initially, when you see the no ring, of course, like, you think, oh, is she trying to tell us something? And then you look at all the terrible botch-up jobs. There's, like, some stunts done by Prince Louis with his fingers, which I don't know how he's got into those positions. As you say, all the other little things.
All we know is his piano-playing days are behind him.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about poor George with one foot, by the way?
One foot.
They kept that quiet. But apparently he's hopping mad about it.
The thing is, like, it's too many mistakes. I blame the press office. I don't care if she posed for it or not. That's not the issue. Why was that allowed to go out as it was? Or is it because she's a princess and so I'm doing my own photos? By the way, if that is your result, stop giving the photos. But I think it's the press office fault. Why did they let it out?
Claire Pearsall, if the palace were not so PR focused, they would have just left well alone. The message would have been clear. Catherine is not well. She's recovering for an operation. The decision to pretend everything's all good, the show's back on the road, here's the family, smiling on a Sunday, that, to me, was their mistake, whether the image is real or not.
It absolutely is. And you have to question why the palace or why the Prince and Princess of Wales have got such a poor PR team behind them. Because anybody would have seen, if you're suggesting that Catherine is very unwell, she's not back on royal duties, why put the photograph out?
Yeah.
Why bother doing it? If she's not doing royal duties, you don't need to publish a photograph. It was Mother's Day. You could have put up a little message saying to all the mothers or those who feel like they're a mother to a child, Happy Mother's Day. Put a little picture of a daffodil. Whatever it might be, you don't need to go to these lengths to put something out there, which we now have been talking about for the last couple of weeks.
Now, I've got no evidence that Catherine did not pose for that photograph. Of course, the palace will be clear that she did pose for the photo and they just messed up with some of the editing and she said she's an amateur. What's your view? Do you think that image is kosher?
I don't think it is. I really don't. The more you look at it, I mean, when I first saw it, I just thought, oh, what a lovely photograph. That was very nice. And then you start to notice the inconsistencies and you think, this is awful. Are these people actually in the same room at the same time? Because it doesn't feel like they are. But always, this is what happens, whether it's in politics, whether it's in showbiz, the cover-up is what gets you in the end.
Yeah, most definitely.